Oh yeah, brothers and sisters, made it. Had a couple things happen. Been a little busy. Oh, they're acting funny. Oh, they're acting real funny. It's okay. I just tried to put a link in here for whatever reason. It wouldn't. It didn't print like a traditional link. Let me try that again. Hmm. I'm not gonna sweat it. It's still the pursuit of peace, baby. I'll just have to read the article out loud and later on go in and just put the link into the damn description or put it in as a comment, whatever. Um, man, it's crazy. So the other day I was sitting at home and I was thinking to myself, I said, Meech, I said, how is this shit all gonna play out? All of it, right? The immediate right now, the thereafter, the hereafter, whatever you want to call it, and then how do people move on with their lives or what life is left? And that's when I started to get real into the prophecies, started to think about everything I knew. And then one of the things that came into my mind, I was looking it up. Seek out peace and pursue it. Yeah, wrong. Psalms 34:14. Right on. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their cry. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to blot out their name from the earth. Stop right there. My people, my people. I'm going to copy that and put that here. Oh, minus 40, huh? That's funny. Ooh, I don't know if I'm not sure exactly what's going on. It won't let me put anything into my one second. Try this again. You know what? Not even gonna worry about it. Psalms 34:14. I know that's not too big. this this platform is trying to snuff people like me out. Right on. The influence that I've had is to say the least, it's troublesome for them. I know it. I get it. I understand. But it doesn't mean they shouldn't let me tell the truth. Just because they don't like that my version of the truth is a version of the truth that for some odd reason, crazy enough said, black people somehow, some way, shape, or form, God puts the same messages on the hearts of others to deliver to the people. But let's talk about it. The pursuit of peace. I thought about it, right? Because there's a lot of prophecies to think about. But I thought about it and I said, what's the one thing you can do other than make yourself a meal that might not always be good for other people, but it's the right thing to do? It's to pursue peace. It's to actually look for whatever peace is and to try to find it and to make it an ally, to make it a lifelong companion. There is nothing else like peace. And I know many of people are going to disagree, but that's because they're trying to live their best life on an earth where maniacs, complete, utter morons have access to nuclear codes. And at the blink of an eye, could totally devastate the face of the earth as we speak. So it's difficult for somebody who's a moron with that kind of power to understand. And it's even more difficult for people who are moronic like them, who want to be like them to understand. See, they say you have to speak truth to power, but I don't believe that. You just speak truth to truth. That's it. Um, the turf is mine by right because I'm here. Whenever I go, wherever I go, that's me. That's how it works for everybody. If you really understand, if you know, you know. Now back to that pursuit of peace. Peace is what, y'all? It's not just it's not just a complete level of calm and serenity, but peace is harmony. Peace is tranquility. Peace is unison. Can you hear me? A man of war can be peaceful. A peaceful man can be a warrior. And what I'm trying to say is that it's hard to tell what people are looking at when they don't know what they're looking at. Right on? See, I'm a true man of peace, but I'm not afraid to be a warrior and defend myself or whatever it is that needs to be defended because I understand the importance of this. But I understand the greater importance of being a peaceable individual. I understand the importance of doing my best to really treat when you treat somebody as you want to be treated. If you're not some kind of twisted, sadist, maniacal type of individual, for sure, you're going to treat people how you want to be treated. And that's with the level of dignity and honor. We respect the dead and we honor the living. Can you dig that? That's what I do. I can't honor the dead. They're dead. There's nothing to honor or uphold. I can respect them though. I have to honor the living. So if I'm going to do the honorable thing, I'm going to treat them how I want to be treated. Number one, this is the first step in the pursuit of peace, is understanding that a part of looking out for number one is looking out for others. That's number one. Right on. So you can't even begin to be a peaceful individual until you understand that you have to treat other people the same way that you feel, no, you have to be treated. I have to be treated a certain way. So I treat everybody with a certain level of courtesy, every living thing with a certain level of courtesy. I'm going to treat this sweet potato right here until it's time to eat it. Right on, like it's precious gold. Can you dig that? Yes, and this is a sweet potato. The other little orange and purple ones, those are yams typically. If I cut this bad boy in half, got a knife. I'm gonna hold off on that right now. I'll cut it in half later. I'll show y'all. But it's a sweet potato and it's white. Anyway, I'm gonna treat that like gold until it's time for me to devour it and honor it in its total worth, which is for it to give me sustenance and energy. Come on. So when we have people who don't even understand the most basic directive in the pursuit of peace, first off, peace will never be achieved. The second directive, most immediate directive, rivals the first directive, is justice. Yes, justice. There can be no peace without justice. It's that simple. It is that simple. This goes back to treating people how you feel and know you have to be treated. Not one, I have to be treated this way. You don't compound an unjust with another unjust. You don't keep compounding them and then do one just thing and then claim you've undone all the unjust done up until that moment. That's not how it works. I.e., black people, we're in this land, right? We're always talking about how reparations this, reparations that. But you know who we need to get to apologize to us first? One another. for us putting ourselves here. We might not have been our ancestors, but anybody, once again, if you know, you know. I owe a black man an apology for whatever part my family played in us being here. I can't skip the line of justice. Right. The cowards that are afraid to tell people this are the same cowards who don't show their faces, the same cowards that beg you for your daily bread, the same cowards that push come to shove would let a white person kill you. They go home, upload a video about it, hoping that it went viral so they can make money off of your death and profiteer from your demise. That's not justice. Justice isn't running around saying black first and white supremacy. That's not justice. That's groupthink, but that's not justice. That's being a monolith, but that's not justice. That's being on code, but that's not justice. On behalf of all my ancestors that ever did anything that put us here, I apologize to the people right here and right now. And I'm not telling y'all that you have to apologize to the people on an online platform, but you owe it to the people to apologize to them. And right here, right now, on behalf of the clan that I come from, whatever family, whether I was a stranger, whether I Judah, Levi, Reuben, Simeon, Naphtali, Joseph, i.e., being Ephraim or Manasseh, Dan, God, who else am I missing? Issachar, Zabulon. Who else am I missing? I'm missing some right now. I know I'm missing some. I know I'm missing some. There's no way I'm not. Right on. I'm just saying, whatever tribe I'm supposed to have been from, Simeon, who knows? I don't know. But whatever wrongdoing my people did, and if we're from a stranger's family of the earth, whatever wrong we did to help put us here, I greatly apologize for. There's nothing I can do other than to pursue peace at this point. And that means what? Treating other people how I would love to be treated, how I know I have to be treated, and then seeking out justice. Now that I've gotten the part out of the way where I know what's wrong on my part and I've spoken to that. What I can't say exactly what we done, but we done something. What does it say? Psalms 34:14. Turn from good. Excuse me, turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Stop. First off, you cannot be seeking peace if you are doing evil. Can you hear me? A warlike man is not necessarily evil. That's why I said he can be peaceful. I didn't say an evil man. I said a war man, a man of war. A man of war is not necessarily an evil man. I can name several people in history who are Gentiles who were men of war. But if you look at what they actually wanted, they wanted peace. They didn't know how to go about achieving peace. So they went the only way that they knew how, which is through the means of complete absolute dominance. Temujin, aka Genghis Khan, Alexander, and Moses. Yes, Moses himself. I'll explain Moses in a moment. Verse 15, the eyes of the Lord, meaning the Most High God, because that's all capitals Lord. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their cry. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to blot out their name from the earth. Come on. He's like, why Moses? Moses took the people on a 40-year military campaign. And when he died, they went on to warn some more. Don't ever downplay Moses straight gangster, get with it attitude. Don't ever try to downplay it. Never. Moses said it, not me. He said, up until this point, every man has done that which was right in his own eyes. Stop right there. I didn't say that. Moses said that. And this was way before the Psalms were written. So can't nobody try to say nothing to me. Why I'm saying that is because Moses understood the people weren't pursuing peace. If every man had did that which the Lord had asked him to do, Moses would have told the people that. Still got a bunch of gay boys running around. Still got a bunch of gay girls running around. Still got a bunch of people murdering people running around. Right on. You think they did it, but you can't prove it. They're crafty enough, aka slick enough to pull it off. And if you can't prove it, you can't prove it. Right. The laws, if used properly, were meant to punish the guilty in secret. So you can't prove that they did something. Okay, then I'm gonna go do something to them. Since no one can prove that anyone we're gonna do something to them, no one can prove. Now obviously the larger the family they come from and the more people they have to back them up on their bullshit, the harder that is to achieve. This is why there were civil wars and things like that of the nature in the Bible. People don't understand what's really going on. They're reading it and they're just reading the baseline little words they're reading. They're not putting it in the context of how does that play out in real life. Like I said, Moses told the people, you guys are doing whatever you want. Everybody's been doing whatever they want this whole time. So none of them have pursued peace. Couldn't have. The natural pursuit of peace, the pursuit of peace in its most natural form, means that you appease the Most High God. Because you're not a destructive person. You're not. How could I treat you how I treat me and be destructive? I haven't been destroyed. So you see what I'm saying? To want to destroy you or to bring destruction in any way, shape, or form goes against those directives. Justice, again. If there's no justice, there is no peace. They got that right. They got that right. But they didn't even understand what they were saying. You cannot live in a land. Listen, the reason why there's no peace in America is because great injustices have followed greater injustices. Or been followed by, greater injustices. It was a great injustice for the European, whatever they called themselves back then. For the Spanish, the Portuguese, the English, the French, the German, right? The English, again, the English being the main beneficiaries, but not the main perpetrators. They came here, murdered people right off rip, raping people right off rip, tried to enslave people right off rip. Said that I need y'all to understand. I don't feel nothing for Palestine. Nothing. I'm gonna make a bigger funk about that than the natives that are on the land that I live in. I live in a state that's considered the last real life frontier. Washington was the last state they had to conquer. So why would I cry for people over there in the Middle East? Nigga, you started it. You started it, homie. What they did was not try to treat somebody how they would want to be treated. You started it and you getting everything that you asked for. I want y'all to understand. Black people have been downtrodden and walked all over in this land. The best of us, no matter what we look like, pursue peace. Highly peaceable individuals. I'm very peaceable. Will I break your head open in the pursuit of justice? Yes. It won't be like, oh, I'm just trying to break their head open. But it's like, can that happen? Sure. I would want somebody to do the same to me if I'm doing the unjust work and I need to be chastened. They had better do the right thing and admonish me and chastise me because I'm wrong, all the way wrong. But since I ain't doing nothing but telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God, let me speak. It's an awkward thing to be in a situation where people don't want to pursue peace. And then they want you to stand up for other people. I'm not going to stand up for anybody that comes from the Ottoman Turk Empire. Why would I do that? Why would I stand up for people who, no, listen, why would I stand up for people who claim to be on either side? I need y'all to understand this. You cannot be a son of Ishmael, a son of Abraham, a daughter of Abraham, and not be a Semite. But you have all these Arab nations, see what I'm saying? So-called Arab nations who can't even prove nothing. My problem with that is what? That all those dudes over there beefing are all Ottoman Turks for the most part. And even if they got a little bit of real life people in them, real life Egyptian, real life Assyrian, real life Syrian in their bloodline, with this kind of hair, I'm talking about, this kind of skin, a beard. I'm not worried about that. That's your own problem. They don't have to live in the great Satan called America. So, right. And they want everybody over here to die. I ain't wish death on them. I want the fake imposter people to get up out of here, but they don't have to die. They just got to get up out of here. Get out the way, homie. All right, once again, I would want, if I was an imposter, I'd want to be treated as an imposter, not as the real thing. I will never call tofu chicken. Nigga, can you hear me? It's tofu. It is not vegan chicken. It's tofu, homie, with flour and barbecue sauce on it. That's all it is. You season it and all that. I don't give a damn. I pursued peace in ways that people could never understand. You know, one of the ways I pursued peace? I'm not sure if I told y'all about this. I know I told the people that I'm close to. I had seen the dude whose teeth had got knocked out. He done moved out. Let me just go ahead and start that out there. He done moved out. Did I ask him to move? No. Did I implore him to move? Did I do anything that? No. I wanted him to stay here so I could possibly bless him one day and show him just how messed up he really was. However, I'd seen him one night. I was getting a couple beers. And I had seen his little car drive by. Once again, people don't even know. Like, right, if I have a problem with you, I will wait. God will show me everything I need to see. Not only I'm gonna see where you live, I'm gonna see what kind of vehicle you're in, I'm gonna see the kind of personnel you keep around, all that. Back to the point though. I seen the little dude's vehicle drive by. And I was like, man, he might just pull up because he might have seen me out here. Sure enough, he walks on up. I'm watching him. Right on. I don't want to have to break no beer can or no beer bottle on his head, but I will if I have to. And he's talking to me and he says, "Man, you knocked my fucking teeth out, dude. You punched out my teeth." And I'm like, but I wasn't trying to. I didn't mean to, and I wasn't. I really, when I was punching him, I was just trying to give him some good punches. There was no intent of knocking this dude's teeth out. Right on, none, zero. So the fact that his teeth got punched out is incredible. However, 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 I said, dude, I said, you think of something that you really like, that you really want, so it can't be no cheap ass bullshit, so kind of expensive. I got you. Now at the time, I was trying to work an angle so that way, when I do this shit in court, I can be like, oh, I did this and this for dude. He shuck and jive though, because he's like, okay. And then after that, I seen this dude moving his shit out. I didn't say nothing to him. I just seen him moving out of shit. And then I didn't see his car no more. And then I ain't seen it since. And I'm like, okay, he gone. He out of here. Right. See, they can't sue me. Right on. The charges against me were dropped. Now they were dropped without prejudice, meaning they could bring up charges later, but they're not going to be able to do anything. I didn't do nothing to this guy. Nothing. Zero. Follow what I'm saying? Zero did I do to this individual. He lied and he got his ass beat. That's what happened. He didn't treat me like he would want to be treated. If what had happened to me happened to him, right? And that's what I was trying to do that day, was get people to understand where I was coming from. Right. I'm not down there complaining about the fact that they don't pick up their dog shit, that it looks like France out front. Yes, France, certain parts of France, just dog shit everywhere. Sweaty ass, musty prostitutes everywhere. Word to my nigga Ponte for breaking down the game years ago. And France can deny it, but their red light district is like a brown light district. It is dirty. So, okay, nigga got mud and everything all on that light. It might not even be mud up there. Okay, it's nasty. France is nasty like that. Still though, the point being this: dude accused me of something that I would never accuse him of. I would never say, "I heard you say this." Listen. I've known niggas to chase bags. Okay, I've known niggas to chase money and say we all got to say the same thing. But that's how they got caught, though. That's how they got found out. Because you all don't, there could be certain phrases you heard the same, but unless you're all at the same place, the same depth, if you're way across the street, 45 feet up from your man's, and the other person is 15, 20 feet from him, the other way across the street, and the furthest from y'all is respectively 30 feet from one angle and another 22 feet from one angle, hey, man, we got to look at this a little differently. You get what I'm saying? We got to say, hey, look, yo, there's no way all three of you heard everything this dude said unless he said it on a loudspeaker. It's impossible. You have people who try to lie, get found out. Sometimes they're rewarded unrighteously, and it feeds into the the negative stereotypes that they believe about your people, about my people, about our people. See, some people are black with no afro. Some people got an afro but ain't brown. Forget black. They have no brownness to them. Right? I know they get mad. Quintessential nig. When I say that, it's not a knock on nobody. Quintessential nigga. Negro, whatever. My bad. My point is this. It's not because I want to be the quintessential nigga that I am one. It's just because I am one that I am one. Dude lied. Said that he heard something that I know he didn't hear. When the police got here and played the audio, they didn't hear nothing that the female said that she heard, and that homeboy claimed that to say that he heard that he heard. Now, when I went and told my lawyer, because this is months ago, I said, hey, look, I want the information that she used that they had that day subpoenaed. I want the body camera subpoena, because I want to know exactly what dude Kai Packard said to the police officers. Right? So that way, if there's a rebuttal that I can make my rebuttal. And then once again, it's your words versus mine. It's your words versus mine. But like I said, though, They're saying I said that I had a weapon. Why didn't anybody call the police? That's a fucking. Do you guys understand how dangerous that shit is? Shit could have got me killed. The cops could have showed up, just blasted. That's it. Could have not just got me killed. Could have got somebody else killed. Because there's a couple other brothers in the last 4 or 5 months that they moved in. What if one of those brothers was walking down, doing whatever they do, right? Handling their business, minding their own business at that. And somebody done called the police and said this, this, and this. The police show up and just shoot and kill a nigga on the site. Right on? Word? They see, they have unfettered right. They're not pursuing peace. They're the same ones that let the dope into the neighborhoods. They're not pursuing peace. If they were pursuing peace, they'd pursue justice, and the highest level of them would be getting caught every day for having connections with slime lords, wannabe drug lords, wannabe kingpins, pieces of shite in the community. They'd get caught up every day. It doesn't happen every day. It would happen everywhere in America. And small podunk towns where there ain't nothing but a bunch of peckerheads. And they're, yeah, that's right. And where you niggas is at, in droves, doing shit you ain't got no business doing, saying white folks do it. You cannot complain about your enemies and pursue the same tasks that they pursue. Do y'all know that the pursuit of peace means the disarmament of every nation that has nuclear power? They're never going to let you have a nuke, black man, woman, and child. You'll never be a nation that, name an African nation that has nukes. They had a bunch of time to make one of those, but they always feared that those niggas would just turn on them. More so, what they feared was that a person like me would be in a nation like that. I'm not there, but somebody like me born in that place would get the bright idea of just raising up a bunch of spies who get to the highest levels in government and the other places to influence the people that have actual access to the nuclear shit to disarm virtually almost all of it. Yeah. We're talking about the coup of coups, the coup that disarms everyone. There is no slickster moves to be pulled here. The people who would administer justice, they have a pulse, but their mind for who will be punished and who won't be punished doesn't change. If you get in the way, you are part of the problem. If you stay out the way, you're not the problem. It's just that simple. Don't do anything that skews judgment because anything that seems like a problem will be treated like one. Wow. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what they fear. That's what they fear to this day. That's what they fear to this day. To this very day, they fear that. See, a black man can go to any nation, get a woman pregnant in that nation. These are all nuclear power places, by the way. The child could come out looking enough like those people, have enough of their features where they're like, are they part black or are sometimes they just can't tell because the genetic makeup has been so thoroughly interweaved into their societies that your biracial looking child looks just like no different than any one of their other people running around here. A little different, but that's a variant they're used to, not used to. They would never want somebody like that to plan to put people in the highest places. All we're going is for the highest places. Right. Right. You see what I'm saying? Just so that way we could disarm them. 100-year plan. A real life 100-year plan. Y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all do not want to hear it. And for those who do, and 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 they're loving this right now, laugh to yourself because you know something that they don't know. What is it that you know? You know that for a fact that these people have never pursued peace, not a moment. And all their pseudo peace attempts have been to quell what is righteous, I repeat, righteous anger, also known as indignation. That indignation has been ignored, put to the side for the rage and unjust behavior of others. Okay, Hamas doesn't represent the Palestinians. Fine. That same Hamas went over, even if they only killed 200 people and Israel killed the rest, they jumped it off. Doesn't matter what's what. It doesn't matter if Benjamin Netanyahu, aka Bibi, started Hamas. And I said that shit a long time ago. Right. These niggas, Mossad started all this shit. Them niggas, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear nothing that nobody got to say to me. You niggas don't know enough. Pay grades are not the same. You can make more money. Nigga, my pay grade is still way higher than that. Okay? I know too much. I've read too much. I've seen too much. And you don't have to be around nothing top secret to see something play out and then visualize in your mind how this shit would go at a much more higher level, a much more sophisticated level. When you have that kind of mind to think, you will do that. I'm a thinker naturally, by nature, not by force. So my ability to think about things, I don't need somebody to tell me. As I would say, these individuals went and started some shit, knowing that they couldn't finish it. Niggas didn't bring swords and shields and just run as deep into it. They didn't get to the heart of Israel. They didn't really make it pop. That's how we know that this shit was a fake attack. It was fake. It was a planned attack. It this listen, Benjamin Netanyahu and his administration ignored the women who didn't have weapons. Some of them did, some of them don't. But the women who did the observatory work had no weapons. They told these dudes a year before and then months before the shit happened, hey man, something don't look right. And because they kept bringing it up, they threatened these people, these young ladies, those Israeli women, women in quotes, with court martials. Now, it's just ironic that a group that Benjamin Netanyahu helped to create would attack him with his shit's at an all-time low as far as ratings and everything else, to create a situation where he could possibly save face. Doesn't save face by killing tens of thousands of those individuals. I wonder how many of those Hamas fighters have roots back to Israel. They'll never say. They'll never say. These dudes get that deeply embedded. You guys remember the Bolshevik Revolution during World War I in Russia that jumped all that shit off in the fucking first place? Those were Jewish people claiming to be Russian. You can't be everybody, man. I need y'all to start to understand this. These individuals you're up against want to be everybody. They are unjust. They don't treat others how they want to be treated. I bet you right now, if Israel did that to somebody else, they could say, we would never do that. If they did that to somebody else, they wouldn't want people to carpet bomb their whole shit indiscriminately. Doesn't matter who celebrates. Doesn't matter. Like I said, millions of leaflets, hundreds of thousands for sure, but millions of them should have been dropped all over Gaza. The same way you've already had your people pull back from all the fighting, from the crazy shit going on, is the same way you should have had your people to pull back in the first place and put all those Gazans there. If you're going to carpet bomb this bitch, carpet bomb it now. Everybody who does not want to get dead, is here. We're trying to level this motherfucker. And then we're sending in troops. Listen, and then look, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. We're not going in for search and destroy missions. No, we're trying to sanitize the area. It's not an act of war then if I set accelerants here and I set it on fire. These are all controlled fires. Neither here nor there. Israel did this whole thing wrong. I would have had the whole earth behind me. Everybody would have been rooting for me. Dudes in Hamas would have been giving up, eating plates of falafel and lamb, talking about, yeah, man, yeah. I don't know why we did that shit. Okay, I don't know why. All in Arabic or whatever language they speaking. Okay, Aramaic. Yeah, they been tearing. Yeah, eating some rice with peas all in it with his bare hands. Okay, shaking his head. Okay, talking about it was not a good idea. Trust me. Approval rating would have went through the roof. They'd have dropped all my charges. Baby should have been a hero behind this. That's how you know that there's. That's how you know that these aren't the people out the Bible. This nigga's not even slick. You're not even slick, bro. You're not even slick, my nigga. You really pursued war, not peace. That's what you pursued. And look what you got from it. Nothing. Now you're gonna have to go to court for fucking war crimes, for possible genocide being committed. This shit is wild. I would look for everybody to look for Israel to be ready to nuke somebody. They didn't already talked about it. These dudes talked about it. They talked about nuking the Gaza Strip right when the shit first jumped off. What are you guys talking about? They were ready to do it then. You think they're not ready to just patooey and have the whole world in chaos? And right. Are y'all hearing me? Like, these niggas is ready to act up. That's not the pursuit of peace. The pursuit of peace is what, y'all? Treating others how you would want to be treated. How you know you need to be treated, have to be treated, how you would love to be treated. That's the pursuit of peace in the first step foremost. And then the second step, the only two things that matter is the pursuit of justice. Therefore, afterwards, nothing else matters. Nothing else. You can try to tell me that having a lot of money matters. That's cool, but money doesn't buy you health. You better get up, work out, go for walks when you can. You better do your own stuff. Because can't nobody make you do it. I can't make you seek out peace, my people. I've sought out peace because it's good for me. Right on. What I get from seeking out peace is a transfer of eternal wealth to my persons that somebody can never take from me. Because I've sought it out, I've wanted it, I desired it, and it was something that I needed so much that it became a part of my normal persons. This is why for years and years and years I've given alms to the people, to the Gentiles, to the animals, to all living things that are on this earth. I give back to the earth when I can give to her. As I know she gives what she gives, but you know what little I can offer back to help the soil become better again. Anything I can do, because it's an honor to be here, and because I want that. I don't ever want y'all to think that it's all about just getting even with your enemies. That's cool. That's justice. But the first part is treating people how you want to be treated. And that means everybody. So that way, even your enemies, listen, follow me. When you treat your enemies how you would want to be treated, how you would love to be treated, and it might even be incidentally, but because you practice treating everybody like this, when they realize that they've wronged you, right? Come the day when it comes down to that toe to toe thing, they know that you're on the side of righteousness already because what you did for them, they would never do for you. You automatically listen, y'all, you automatically already won. You automatically already won. If you could have choked somebody out after they dropped from one punch and you didn't touch them again, I mean, you know, you punched them a few more times, but when they dropped initially, there was no more, beat down. till they tried to get stupid, and then they got some more of that. Follow me. If your first move was to just put them into a rear naked chokehold where you did a body triangle on them, laid on top of them, pancake their body out right on, and now they're trying to fight your weight from the top. See what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be trying to break your hands free. They're gonna be trying to get your arms off of them. And the moment that you get a free chance to, to clobber them again, they're done. You know what I'm saying? They're done. They're done. They're flatlined with punches. So why would I? Once again, I've been in this position in my life for a long time where people don't want to be on the same page because it's easier for them to be adversarial towards me. But they don't realize we're getting to that point to where your adversarial ways are playing against you. A lot of people see it right now. Keep thinking that they're not gonna try to enslave niggas. I told niggas all those Ricos before your boy Young Thugger got locked the fuck up. I was telling niggas those Ricos was coming because of that little boy that had got killed. I want to say in Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. He got killed in the Midwest. This was during Trump's time in the White House. People forget about that. That little boy got killed. Little biracial boy. Boom. And when that happened, nigga, they started that motherfucking task force. They was rounding motherfuckers up left and right. They didn't end that task force. That task force never ended. Right on? And they was putting Ricos on all those dudes. This was happening during the Trump days. Fast forward to the Biden days. You seen a bunch of these dudes in New York and all these kind of places, all on the East Coast getting hit with these RICO charges. These guys don't understand. They're building cases. I've been telling people this though. So why do I need to pat myself on the back? I feel bad that these dudes who listen to me, who take the things that I say, don't disseminate that kind of shit. Instead, they bloviated the fact that these dudes embellished the fact that these dudes were nothing more than glorified hoodlums and called them warriors and said that these dudes were soldiers, right on, and frontlining. These dudes ain't soldiers. These dudes ain't frontlining, right on. They're not soldiers or frontlining. They're neither one, right on. They're selfish opportunists. And because you guys can't discern the difference between the two, you're not in a position to. I know you're not real leaders. I get it. But you want people to support you. You need them to support you. That's the problem. I'm not asking for support. Everything I have is God given. When I say words like consortium, nobody's surprised when I say that. Not one. Why would they be? Hmm? When I say shit like a solar flare could end nukes, not make one pop off accidentally, but just put them totally out of usage. I've been saying that. No surprises here. Right on. So I don't need to get attention to know that I'm right. Other people who I've never met, never seen, I've only ever heard of. And for all I know, they've never seen, never heard of me. The Most High God put a similar or same thought into their mind. Come on. Now, that's beautiful. Right. Words like cabal, not unbeknownst to me, but I just don't use them as much because certain individuals like to use those words, and I don't. I'm like that. I'm real territorial about how I speak. You speak like you talk like you. I'm gonna talk like me. That's how I work. I know that sounds crazy, but how you talk is a very distinct way, and how you are set apart or made different from all the others. A man that is pursuing war for the means of hate, not war for the means of understandable retaliation and the quelling and the sequestering of an enemy or an antagonistic force that would otherwise be a nefarious force and seek to do harm to me. All others are those who seek war for the means of being evil. They are not seeking war or pursuing a cause of action, a root of action for the cause of justice, because they already tried to treat these individuals how they would have liked to be treated, how they would love to be treated, how they know that I have to be treated with this level of dignity. I ain't did nothing to nobody. Why? People like, this is why you said that Moses. Yeah, that's why, because Moses went to all those places, peaceable, was cool. The only place he didn't fight with were the children, that's right, of Esau, the Edomites. These are the only ones he did not fight with. Everybody else he was fighting with, squabbling, didn't care. That's a brother tribe. You don't want to be fighting with a brother tribe. Now, obviously, had Edom let the people go through, there would have been Edomites who would have joined the people. It would have, once again, it's flipping prophecies all in their head type of stuff where maybe the people do right. Maybe they would have done the right thing. You just never know. Never happened. Ah, too bad. However, the pursuit of peace does not mean there will not be any conflict. It means that I didn't want conflict to ensue in the first place. No conflict is the best way. Right on? The greatest warrior is the man that never has to lift his hands, let alone draw a weapon. That's the greatest warrior, when he can disarm you right here first. And he can disarm you through his actions because they're so peaceable that you see that this man desires peace. And that you could only imagine what they would be like if they desired war. But because people don't even understand these types of things, right? They're afraid of what? The police kill people every day. Every day the police kill people. They haven't stopped, but you don't be hearing about it as much. Because that was a political machine move. That wasn't a move of pursuit of peace. That was a move that where they pursued unrest and rebellion from people that ultimately only want to be left alone and to do business on the base level that we have to do business with everyone on. But for the most part, would love to be left alone. They don't owe anything to anyone. And as far as we're concerned, if you feel like you don't owe anything to us, okay, leave us be. You not willing to listen, however many trillion America's in debt, 34 trillion, whatever it is. I keep telling y'all, they should have been gave you every time they keep running it up. I'm gonna keep telling y'all they should have been gave me that trillion. And the more I say it, I think the more people are gonna understand, like, damn, Meech is right. They could have been gave a few people the trillion. They could have gave this many people the trillion by now. Used up all that. Yeah. Yeah. You could take, once again, if these niggas were to negotiate for 12 trillion, I need a whole one. I'm not taking no part payments. I need a whole one to the face. Thank you. Just like I'm gonna smoke a blunt to the face and not pass that bitch to nobody and look. Yeah, nigga, I'm facing this bitch, nigga. Yeah. Niggas get mad. Yeah, people who used to pick, people who pick, they know what I'm talking about, nigga. Yeah, nigga. I'll give you some weed to roll up before I pass this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a wrap and everything before you know what I'm saying, before I pass this bitch. This is me. It's like that. So if we're in a situation where people feel like they don't even have to act like what has happened, and we're like, we just want to be left alone, I don't see the problem. But like I said, nigga, I need a trilly to the face. Just all me. Give me that. I've been saying that shit for years. I don't give a fuck about what everybody else thinks their shit is worth. I'm not worried about somebody else's value, what they value themselves as. My valuation is $1 trillion, nigga. And I don't give a fuck about none of your bullshit. Your your barometer is the barometer of those who do not pursue justice, who do not pursue peace. My barometer is that who pursues peace. Right. Disarm all of them. None of them have the right, the mind, let alone the temperament for nuclear weapons. They haven't made one fucking nuclear city. Shame on them. So damn smart that they didn't, all these fake islands they've been building haven't taken the smallest amounts of nuclear energy to power the shit to see if they could really get it because they don't know if they could do it without it blowing up. That's why. They've spent no time figuring this shit, but they have weapons that could do massive catastrophic damage to the earth and haven't figured out how to make a nuclear bicycle, a nuclear car. No nuclear buildings anywhere. Right on? None. Like I said, a whole nuclear city, but a nuclear state, a nuclear country where, bro, the whole shit is nuclear powered. We raised people who were physicists, whose whole job is to understand. And every day you go in because you're taking biometric scans in your brain, all that shit. So we know if you're not feeling right, cuz go home. You get paid for the day no matter what anyway. It don't matter. Go home. You feel me? We want people who are alkaline. They don't even if we see something that's not normal in their heart rate, they're like, okay, their brain waves are normal though. Okay, so they're just a little excited. Okay, let that be the case. They're still thinking the same. I can't all that shit should be where's that technology at? Nowhere. They're pathetic. They should be ashamed of nigga, they should be ashamed of themselves for not pursuing peace. America had a chance. America had that chance. You know what that chance was? Was not to try to stand up for those who were behind the Balfour Declaration, a British dude way across the seas, way over yonder in the first place, and just let them fight all by themselves. People are like, oh, the Japanese. That there were provocations, there were words, there were clandestine efforts to support certain things. Yeah, you wanna hide your hand while you support shit, nigga. We'll drop some bombs on Pearl Harbor, then you punk ass niggas. Do that. Take that. Oh, now we're involved, huh? No, now we're openly involved. There we go. See, that's the problem with the people is that they're not willing to look at the situation for what it really is. There was no pursuit of peace. Right. Rumor has it the Germans already had nuclear bombs in World War II. Rumor has it. But rumor has it that Hitler was unwilling to use them. Rumor has it. Polish commandos went on a mission to sabotage the German nukes. What would have became nukes? They say. That's as much as they'll tell people. But I'm pretty sure they had them sometime early in the war. I'm thinking 1939, 1940. I'm thinking that's when they had. I'm thinking they had nukes way back then. I know people don't want to hear that. I know people really don't want to hear that. I know that scares people because then that's telling you, right? Yeah, that dude that you guys are saying was a maniac and a murderous bastard. The Germans didn't do most of the air raids across the globe, across Europe. America did. Britain did. They did way more than the Germans did. Way more. They killed a bunch of Germans doing it too. Nobody was innocent. It was just the casualties of war. That's why they're called casualties of war. That's why innocent civilians are called casualties of war for that reason. Right. Nowhere safe. Nowhere safe. Nowhere on this earth is really actually truly safe. And I'm not just talking about from like uh uh mega cataclysmic events. I'm talking about from like nuclear disaster. I'm talking about from military takeover. Okay, nowhere safe from that. So because the pursuit of peace was never made way back when they could have made that pursuit of peace, all these dudes have only ever been worried about for all these years is arming themselves to the teeth, as opposed to making things that would work. I just need y'all to understand I have more sense in this pinky than the people who are in control of the news. I just say put me in the room so that way I can disable all the shit. Yeah. You know, you guys are gonna be you're gonna be way more worried when they conjure up something that can control those things all on their own. Real life, once again, I know Ramses don't seem like he coming back anytime soon. Akhenaten, none of them seem like they're coming back anytime soon. Yeah, they don't seem like they're gonna get Krishna or none of them to get back here anytime soon. Vishnu or none of them. But when these guys conjure up what they're trying to conjure up, this is why I keep trying to tell you somewhere's going on. Something more diabolical than nukes, something evil. And they are not on the pursuit of peace. And in order to pursue peace, you have to pursue justice. All these individuals must be disarmed. There will be no so-called black empowerment until you understand that. It's going to be on you and me and those that will follow after, because it's going to be the sacrifices of sacrifice. Everybody's not going to walk away from this stuff when it happens. All you can do is be ready in those moments and just understand that that's it. Life and death moments can happen any moment in life. But the one where it's that day, it's that great and terrible day where everybody's in life and death moments, and it's a life and death struggle for a drawn out period of time. It's going to be obvious what day it is. And I just want my brothers and sisters to be ready to pursue peace. Come on. I said all that to say that. I just want you to be able and ready to pursue peace and understanding that your pursuit of peace does not mean laying down, but it also doesn't mean showing absolutely zero mercy. Did I say that there's moments where mercy might be literally a weakness? Being merciful to the wicked, someone who has the propensity to betray you, and more viable likelihood that they will betray you than not. You, I mean, you have to discern those types of things. You have to be circumspect. Your judgment has to be intact. It's not on me. For all the mega conglomerates that have gotten rich, super mega conglomerates that have become ultra rich off of the suffering of those that they consider to be weak or um, easily manipulated, your day's coming. Your day is coming. As that wind blows, your day's coming. And don't be mad about it. Don't get aggravated. Act like it's supposed to happen. Yeah, because it's going to be sweet, sweet, sweet victory for the people. In a couple minutes, when I roll out and get done, I'm going to cook my little potato friend here and I'm going to get it popping. D Mac, my brother. Yeah. What's up, D Mac? Yeah. Look, man. Quick rundown for you. I hope everything went well today. I hope you didn't sustain any kind of mental or physical injuries at the workplace. I hope everything went smooth and that you were able to conquer the day. Uh, Having said that, this joint right here is about some real life stuff. It's about the pursuit of peace, but it's talking about how the only way you can pursue peace is by first and foremost treating people how you would like to be treated, how you love to be treated, how you have to be and need to be treated. And then the other side of that, the very close thing, number two, some people would say is number one, but I feel like it's number two, is then the pursuit of justice. So when I treat everybody and everything how I would love to be treated, how I feel I have to be treated, I can then pursue justice. Because it doesn't matter who I bring justice to at that point. I'm already treating them with the level of equity. I you can't say I'm being unfair if I always honored you, I always loved you, I always showed you love, I never tried to undercut you, you know, and and um and make it to where it's like, look, if I would rather I would rather you admonish me and tell me all the ways how nigga you were fucking wrong. You could tell me that all you want to, because that's you trying to save my black ass. Right on. That's what you want somebody to do for you. You want somebody to go out on a limb and say, "Nah, bro, you tripping. Pull me off the edge. Pull me off the ledge real quick." You know what I'm saying? We don't got to go this way. People don't realize that it's not just hugging and kissing on people and giving them wine to drink and blessing them with gifts. You know what I mean? It's more than that. It's being willing to tell somebody that, no, bro, that's wrong, that's not right, that's not right, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. If somebody thinks eating catfish is right, catfish don't have scales, it's wrong to eat. You can eat it, might taste good, but you're not supposed to eat catfish. Righteous judgment, righteous, yeah, yeah, yes, sir. Righteous judgment, however, is 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 peace we're seeking. Right on. The pursuit of peace means I have to treat you a a certain way, a certain level of honor. Right? Period. The pursuit of peace means that. And then behind that, I have to pursue justice. I can't just tell you stuff because me treating you how I want to be treated is the pursuit of justice. Let's say somebody does something foul to me, right? And you're able to rectify the situation. Okay, you would want somebody to do that for you if it was you in the other hand. So you doing that for me is already you covering number one. And then now, because you've covered number one, this situation now, you've already right, exactly. You've pursued out justice. So or you've pursued justice and the ultimate pursuit of peace. So what happens now is I treat no matter who it is, enemy, friend, indifferent. Like I said earlier, in the program with the sweet potato here, I said I'm gonna treat this sweet potato like it's gold, like it's something precious until the moment I eat it. I'm not gonna just treat it bad. Right on. I'm not gonna just throw it everywhere. I'm not gonna just treat it like any old thing. I'm going to eat that eventually. So I want that to be treated with the utmost care, right on, the utmost honor and love. That's how I'm saying. So until there's a time for whatever to take place, we should always treat each other like that. The pursuit of peace should always be on the is there should never be a time where talks for peace cease. This is how, I know, like I said, like those dudes over there in the Middle East are not the people. Right on. That's how I know that they're not children of Abraham for real, because how can you claim a common ancestor? On that alone, there's a reason to sit down, right on, break bread, cry, hug and make up and be like, man, we fucked up. We really fucked up. But because they don't have no kind of they're not built like that. They're not wired like that. They're not wired to be like, we have to forgive them for this shit. These are our brothers. These are our first cousins. These are our people. They don't say it like that. They don't see it like that. So there's no, like I said, the treating you how I want to be treated, treating you how I need to be treated, how I have to be treated, how I would love to be treated is the first step in the pursuit of peace. Right soon and thereafter that is the pursuit of justice. What is justice? Doing the right thing, even when it makes you uncomfortable. No man could be just. No man could be comfortable in a congregation he grew up in telling all those people you shouldn't eat pork. All in the same breath, he cooked beef rib tips, macaroni, greens with a turkey in them or oxtail in them, right? The black eyed peas, the cornbread, made the yams. He cooked the whole spread for the people. No swine, no nothing unclean, right? Everything he didn't use no marshmallows. If he did, they were kosher. All that, right? We're gonna go all the way to the tippy top to this. While he's saying what he's saying, he's showing them the love. So he's not just saying it with empty merits. He's not just like, for example, if a person were to say, Meech, you really think a lamb chop is better than a pork chop? I would say undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. Even though I wouldn't eat the pork chop because they eat pork, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make them a lamb chop and a pork chop. I'm gonna make them one of both. Right on? I'm gonna make them one of them little skeet little penny pork chops, and I'm gonna make them a real life lamb chop. I'm gonna be like, you tell me which one tastes better. Cook them with the same ingredients, the same balance and measurement, all that. You tell me which one tastes better to you. If they still think the pork tastes better, right on. All I can do is tell them that it's just not good for them, and that's not what God intended for us to do. But that's all on them. Right. I've already sought out the justice. I pursued the justice while I pursued peace. Me being peaceable is me telling them this. I don't have to hold it against them. I don't have to be mad at them. That's their life to live. I'm not going to have to stand in front of the great holy one or any of his angels of judgment come that day for that, for, you know what I'm saying, for their merits or their actions. I'm not going to get credit for it. I'm not going to get blamed for it. Right. So you can't, what's the word? Entreat me, right on, or shame me. Either way. That being said, to pursue peace is to be like, you'd have to be willing to punch smooth clean in the mouth a police officer who would kill somebody for doing the wrong thing. Right on. You have to be willing to go to jail for that and be like, I saved somebody's life tonight. You know what I'm saying? He was about to kill this dude for nothing. For nothing. What did he pull him over for? Right. You're turning you're turning an interaction that should be non-lethal all the time, every time, unless the person you stop for whatever reason initiates violent actions. It should never be like that. But the police kill people every day. They kill everybody. It don't matter what you look like, but they just kill. They just so happen to kill a bunch of black people. I'll say it like that. To be willing to punch their whole grill set out. For people like me, that is pursuing peace, and that's pursuing justice. You can't be afraid to do the right thing. Don't worry. That's why I'm here, and that's why they're there. You know what I mean? That's why when I talk, the shit that I say resonates because that's why. because I'm gonna say something that am I saying go around beat up on cops? No, I'm saying that the same way that somebody should have uppercutted Derek Chauvin and put the hands on those other cops, made the other cops jump on you and tackle you, and you're gonna get tussled up some. They're gonna whoop that ass a little bit, right? But you might get the best of them for the most part, right? You just might. You really just might knock one dude out, stun the other two. The other guy's tussling with you now. You throw him down, you run off. You just don't know. Though you could get shot, get killed like that. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? This is the pursuit of peace. You don't get to peace by there not being some sort of conflict. That's how peace is achieved. Did you guys know that? In order for the water to calm down in the wave, right? The wind, a violent force, has to push against it one way and then push against it another. Otherwise than that, that water has to crash into something. I mean, in a violent way for it to stop. God is great. He's great. I am pursuing peace because I want it to be an ally, a companion, a life mate. I want it to be here with me in my last moments. I don't want it to be something that I thought about, I dreamed about, I set goals for, but I never actually made this. The first step is to treat others how you would love to be treated. Have to, need to, want to be treated, must be treated. When you treat others like that, see, this is why I don't have a problem helping somebody else. When I say helping, they asked for help. I have no problem assisting someone either. I would first assist you if you gave me the chance to assist you than you having to need my help. I'd gladly do that. But I would rather assist you and give you a little more than just what you asked for assistance. Never give people more than what they need. Never. Give them exactly what they need so that way they do what they're supposed to do. Then when they do what they're supposed to do, then you bless them again. So that way, everything they right now, it's a real blessing because you didn't fumble your blessing. You didn't mess the blessing up. It's not always money that you give somebody. Sometimes it's time. Sometimes it's a skill set. Sometimes you have access to a resource that they need. And that access to that resource right on puts them in a better position to win. You cannot be afraid to pursue justice, people. If the police were to be doing something wrong to one of y'all right now, I would intervene. Everybody's just talking about, but what about your life? What about it? You niggas is so afraid to die, bro, that you won't do nothing right. You won't pursue peace. How can you cancel white supremacy if you're not pursuing peace? How can you cancel white supremacy if you're afraid to die? Not that I believe in that, but if I did believe in it, I wouldn't be afraid to stand up to it, even if I thought it was a tidal wave. You got one life to live, people. Man once said you can live on your knees. You could fight and possibly die on your feet, but you could fight and possibly one day live on your feet as well. I'd much rather die on my feet, people. every time. I'd much rather die like this, standing up than on my knees. Right on? I'd much rather that. There will be, let me read this to y'all again, just so that way people understand what's happening. Psalms 34:14. In context, they say. Verse 14. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their cry. But the face of the Lord God is against those who do evil, to blot out their name from the earth. 14 to 16, y'all. I just need you guys to understand it's not nothing personal. It's what it is. It's what it is, people. There's nothing personal against you. It's not nothing personal against me as a person. Like if like something were to apply to me, it's nothing against me. It's what it is. Seek out peace, my brothers and sisters. Seek peace and pursue it. Seek it out. Find it. Search for it. The Most High God is watching those who don't want to see peace reign on the earth. I get it. They go to work. They have to come home. They have to deal with the things that they have to deal with. There are going to be more people who are banished because of cowardice than people who are banished because of brazen activity. You weren't afraid to fight. You were afraid to fight against those that outnumbered you, though. But you fought for them and with them, and you died with them and for them. And for that, you get nothing. You fought against those who would have fought against those who know what peace is and the idea of it. They've only ever experienced it in quaint or minimal exposure. It's like going fishing for the first time, all by yourself on the water, or whoever brought you, just you and them. You might not be doing very much talking at all, and your mind just runs free. This is what people had to do before. Only they didn't have boats in it all the time. Sometimes they had to have a net. This is why people made nets. This is why there was a need for a net, right? People would make great nets, put them across, streams and stuff like that, and run them and let the fish come into them. And once they had so many fish, obviously they gather the net, right? It's beautiful. Like you can visualize and understand what people had to do to live. When you go out and you just experience what they call nature, which is the real thing. That's what they should call it, the real thing, right? you know, Going outside to the real thing, not to nature. Because that's the real thing out there. When you get out to the wilderness, that's the real. It ain't it's not the fake. It's the real. Uh-huh. When you just imagine how people could have lived if there were no wars, and if people could just do this kind of thing every day, if they could just live like this every day, how much more peaceful they would be, how much more relaxed they would be. You have individuals who would be naturally bent on destruction. I just fair to say that if we hadn't allowed for the earth to be destroyed to this point, the natural happenings on the earth would have consumed them. Okay, this dude's a badass fucking battle mage, but he got mauled to death by a pack of fucking wolves. Right on, by a pride of lions. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Yeah, that kind of thing. Like, but we don't have those options today because the wolves are endangered, scared. The bears the same. The cougars, all the things that might actually that still attack people seldomly, but just not like it used to be. Like that was a natural check and balance. Sometimes animals kill good people for sure, but they also kill bad people too. And you can only think about things like this when you're at a moment of peace to be like, yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. Those people wouldn't have lived very long because the earth would have naturally dealt with them. It's like it's just beautiful. But you have to get to that point to where you can even understand that. Most people do not understand the earth would have naturally dealt with people. That's why we don't need nuclear bombs. So you don't need any of that. You don't. They're not necessary. Do you guys realize that if they got rid of nukes right now, put down all the arms, right? Most nations would starve to death in a couple years. Most nations that do trade, like if you couldn't force anybody through the threat of violence and all that stuff to do business with you, one moment. Do y'all realize that? You take away all the everything, take away the nukes, take away their guns, their grenades, their bombs, all their munitions, take away the swords and the shields. Just leave the sticks and the stones on the earth because they're naturally occurring. They would not be, most nations would fall apart, most places. It's through the threat of imminent violence that they are able to have what they have. It's not through the means of 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 insurmountable peace. Come on, can you hear me? America had a chance to bestow great benevolence upon the earth, the greatest form of benevolence that any nation has ever bestowed upon the whole earth. They think being godlike is the ability just to destroy you. You know what godlike is? Godlike is the ability to see you flourish tomorrow. Mm, that's godlike. To just make it to where it's like it doesn't matter. Right. All these guys want to get paid. We'll feed them. They don't get paid no money anyway. We'll feed them and we'll give them booze and we'll give them all that stuff. Relax till they get a nice little economy going. Relax. They didn't do that for places, did they? Did they? MSN didn't want me to read this whole thing. They didn't want me to put the whole thing over here, or YouTube didn't want me to take the whole link. Let's read it real quick. Black man who spent 44 years in prison before he was exonerated gets record $25 million settlement, as if that gives him back his life. And they're gonna tax the hell out the money, everything. Anyway, a black North Carolina man who spent 44 years in prison after he was wrongfully convicted of raping a prominent white woman has been awarded a historic $25 million settlement more than 3 years after he was exonerated. Ronnie Long settled his civil lawsuit with the city of Concord, about 25 miles northeast of Charlotte, for $22 million. The city said in a news release Tuesday. The North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation had previously settled for $3 million, according to Duke Law School's Duke Law School's wrongful convictions clinic. The clinic, which represented Long, so it's some damn college students, pretty much, and people who are trying to get into law. It wasn't regular people who did this. It wasn't like just like a regular lawyer who just practices overturning convictions. The clinic, which represented Long, said the settlement is the second largest wrongful conviction settlement recorded. It's obviously a celebratory day today, knowing that Ronnie's going to have his means met for the rest of his life with the settlement. It's been a long road to get to this point, so that's a great outcome. Clinical professor Jamie Lau, Chinese chick, Long's criminal attorney, said in a phone interview Tuesday. Have we found justice in this case? Absolutely not. No amount of money will ever compensate Ronnie for all that he lost, but this is a big step forward for him. The city also issued a rare public apology to Long. The city also issued a rare, the public apologies are rare, y'all. That is not the pursuit of peace, people. Let's just keep reading. We are deeply remorseful for the past wrongs that caused a tremendous harm to Mr. Long, his family, friends, and our community. Mr. Long suffered the extraordinary loss of his freedom and a substantial portion of his life because of this conviction. He wrongfully served 44 years, 3 months, 17 days in prison for a crime he did not commit. While there are no measures to fully restore to Mr. Long, and his family all that was taken from them, through this agreement, we are doing everything in our power to right the past wrongs and take responsibility, the apology continued. We are hopeful this can begin the healing process for Mr. Long and our community, that we can move forward while learning valuable lessons and ensuring nothing like this ever happens again. Keep reading these. Sonia Pfeiffer, one of Long's civil attorneys, said a public apology was a part of Long's settlement demand. No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. You got to come out and say you done me wrong. You don't get to just pay me and then this hush money. You got to come out and say it was wrong. But that ain't anyway. The pursuit of peace is what justice. See, he want justice. I know this brother want justice, but he treat these people. See, he treat people how he want to be treated. Because he said, if I locked you up for this like this and I was wrong, I would apologize. It's the least you can do. It's only lip service, but damn it, lip service is better than no service. Chris Olsen, another civil attorney for Long. All these people going to be getting paid. They got to be. Said the settlement was significant and important after this horror of 4 decades. I wonder how much money they're getting out for all this. If he's getting 25 million, he caking them all at least a million and a half. He gonna bless these people. He changed all their lives. Right on? This money changed all their lives. Anyway. Chinese person able to hop on this man's just listen to me, y'all. They did all that complaining and all that, and yet they still ride our coattails. All these individuals. Heard a dirty foot chick the other day bring up Dr. King out of nowhere, and I was just thinking in my head, like, somebody should punch her all in her mouth. A female, not a man, but a female should punch this chick in her face. Because you don't get to select when you want to act like justice matters. And then you don't get to use my people who never seen no real justice done for us in this land. You don't get to use us. You don't get to use our struggle to look, nigga, you keep trying to stand on my shoulders, I'm going to purposely start running. Right on. You said stand here, stand still. I swear to God, I'm about to run. I'm about to do a side shuffle. I'm gonna pull back real quick, right on, and swipe your feet because you was dishonest. Type of shit. Like, nigga, don't play with me. We're not playing that. Get off of our shoulders. Whoever said it first, infamous words by a man that probably needs to be slapped himself. Hold your own nuts. Not that I disagree with that, but everybody doesn't have nuts. Let's keep reading. Long was convicted by an all white jury on October 1, 1976, after he was accused of raping a white woman. He was 21 when he was sentenced to life in prison. His attorneys detailed numerous issues with this trial, beginning with the jury selection. They said that before juries were summoned, the chief of police and sheriff had removed nearly all the black potential jurors, his attorney said. They said there was no physical evidence tying Long to the rape and burglary. He did not match the original description of the suspect, a yellow or really light-skinned black male. This nigga is dark as hell, y'all. Anyway. A rape kit collected at the hospital provided Concord police went missing and has never been found. They said the prosecution's main piece of evidence was the victim identifying Long weeks after the attack, and it was the product of a suggestive identification procedure arranged by the police to target Long. So that way somebody could get, there wasn't some light-skinned Negro running around, probably one of these probably one of them dirty ass white boys, bastard children, one of their half-breed sons running around raping women, because that's what these dudes do. They're known for that. Like, that's what the white mixed dude is known for. The white mixed dude who got a white daddy, they're known for, them dudes are known for being rapists. Just like they daddies. The Concord Police Department did not respond to a request for the comment for comment Tuesday. In February 2020, Long appealed his case. That year, U.S. Courts of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit ruled 9-6 that his due process rights were violated at trial and demanded that the case to the court and remanded the case to the district court to decide whether he was innocent. Duke Law School's wrongful convictions clinic said. August 2020, the court overturned his conviction. He was released August 27th, 2020. Governor Roy Cooper pardoned him 4 months later. The following year, the state paid him $750,000. I don't know if you guys remember me covering this story when I first covered it. I covered this shit years ago when it first happened. This is the same Ronnie Long that if I had to go back and try to find the video, but the brother, I want to say he learned how to become a brick mason or something like that. And I was trying to tell people, like, 750,000, like, if you just did the math, like the math of 750,000 was done based on what he would have averaged for the state wages. Right on? Like how much money he would have made per year. So let's say it's what was it, like it was less than 20 grand a year. Because 20 times 10 is 200,000, right on. It was like 15,000 a year or something like that. It was something measly. But I remember covering the story years ago. Let's just keep reading. Since his release, Long has put part of his settlement from the State Bureau of Investigation toward helping criminal justice reform. Lau said he has been trying to figure out modern society, according to his attorney, spending time with his family, including his wife, whom he married while in prison, and a son from a relationship before his sentencing. Long and his attorneys hope his case becomes an example of how others should be handled. One thing he recognizes is that he's in a position of power now that he's achieved a record settlement financially. So that sets the bar for others. If that could be the gold standard for all these cases, they may be the closest that exonerees get to justice. Ain't that about a bitch? Whatever, people. Everybody think they so damn smart. Think they know something. The time they took from him and his that don't change nothing. His son called him a no good nothing ass rapist probably his whole life. Right on. Baby mama letting everybody run up in her. Right. But he has to live with that. Stole his whole life from him. Yeah, he got married to some chick while he was in there, and she might be of the age where she can still make children, but probably not. And if she is, she's in her 40s. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not really like prime baby making age. So all that shit right there, like you stole this man's whole life from him. 44 whole fucking years. Imagine that, y'all. Imagine that. Right. You spent 44 years of your life. Nigga, I'll be 33 on so-called 33 on Sunday. So I gotta start saying it. I'm 33. Right? I'm 33. I gotta say that. Follow me. In the almost 33 years that I've been alive, so-called, do y'all realize he was locked up before I was born? Well, he was 21 in 76, so clearly, but follow what I'm saying though. He was locked up before I was born. So that whole time, the whole 25 years or whatever it was, he was locked up before all that, before I got to this earth. Just understand that this dude is in there telling people he's innocent. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. People always talk about how, oh, these rapists get treated like this in prison, and and I'm like, there's a there's a level of truth to that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but just look at his case. This is why I always feel for people who've been accused of something that they didn't do. Like I said earlier, to defend me is to be willing to punch out the teeth of a punk ass cop, lying ass cop. You would you would rather me do 44 years in prison than you sock this dude out and both of us just roll out the scene. You know what I mean? Right. He's all by himself. He shouldn't have thought he was fucking super cop. He got his ass beat. But he was willing to change my life like these motherfuckers changed this man's life. Oh, you can get whatever you want now. You're a millionaire. They made him a millionaire. I remember when the case first happened. I remember when I first read that shit. And I was like, $750,000. I was like, what the fuck? Nigga, you stuck. Anyway, listen. The problem is that it takes years to get your money. That's not a step in the right direction for justice. Treat me how you would want to be treated. You would want to go through fucking bullshit like that to nigga. See what I'm saying? That's not treating me how you want to be treated, how you need to be treated, how you would love to be treated, how you have to be treated. That's not justice. We needed to start locking up Chinese motherfuckers for being spies. Give them all life sentences. Every last one of them. So you're all spies. Ain't none of y'all no good. I didn't put the article in here with the two little dudes they just caught in the military spying. In the military. This dude's got some fines and a little bit of prison time. When I say a little bit, like not more than 2 years. Whatever they copped out to, whatever they paid and pleaded down to, wasn't actual espionage. The pursuit of peace means that you must be willing to take to task all those that would stand against peace. This has been an honor, a great, beautiful honor. They're mad at me because I do what I do. But if I didn't do it, who else would do it? I salute you. I salute you once more. And I salute you again. I don't worry about what other people think. I don't care. I'm on the pursuit of peace. The pursuit of happiness is not the pursuit of peace. What makes you happy is not what brings peace. I don't need to be. Peace will make me happy. Happiness does not bring peace. My brothers and my sisters, pursue peace. Seek peace out and pursue it, that justice may follow.